been trying to figure out a way to start this video for the last like 5 minutes. I've been standing over here. But what I keep coming back to is just the same friggin' thing. This ride sucked. Kind of felt like this. You guys still there? Sorry about that. Let's put you back. I'm trying to do my best here to paint the picture of why I almost didn't post this video and why I'm kind of like on the fence still. But with all transparency, this is how it goes. The worst ride of my life. This is a mountain bike channel. We've all been in the ups and downs of what mountain biking brings. Sometimes they're really down there. Just be honest with you. The reason I didn't want to post this and the reason I kind of like was second guessing it is because I hate thinking about this ride. I have like a horrible flashback. I have the bad taste in my mouth, and then editing and talking about this video for how long it takes me to do, it's just putting me in a upside down place, I guess you could say, with this whole thing, because I have to like relive this stupid ride throughout this whole video. But it's a big but there. I'm going to go through that because I don't know if you call it a learning lesson, but I have figured out why this ride sucked and why this ride turned into such a terrible situation for me. All right, in order to get into this, I need to explain, I think, two things really quick. One, the idea for this video I had was just kind of like a no talking video, an ASMR kind of style video where you could just throw on, feel the trail sounds, come on a ride with me. Maybe I'll get back to this idea on a later date. I look back on this ride and I came off of two pretty solid long bike park days. One day at Snow Summit, one day at Sky Park. I hadn't ridden Laguna in months. I haven't been on this trail in a very long time. And I came in real hot, really big headed, and flew into this thing like, oh yeah, bike park mode, here we go. And I learned really quick that's not how natural trails work. There's no berms, there's no ruts that are being taken care of. No, OC Parks is not out there fixing the trails and cutting things down on a daily basis like our friends at the bike parks. I had to go up there and grab him. He's getting too far away, and there's rabbits up there. He's not a hunter, but he'll chase. Anyway, let's switch situations. I want to get more comfortable so I can sit with you guys, kind of dial this thing back. I think you're in for a treat. I'm sure as hell not. Let's go. Let's get into the worst ride of my life. I hope you guys are happy. All right, we're bending into Old Emerald Falls, and we're gonna start this one off with a bang, straight away into the bushes. Notice the complete silence and utter frustration. Take that as a warning sign right off the bat. The last time I was here, these ruts were pretty much just as bad. Nobody's really filled them in, and this trail, as you're gonna see in about 0 seconds, is completely overgrown right now. The least that OC Parks could do is kind of keep up on the trails being overgrown. I'm not talking smack. I know being park rangers is super difficult. I'm just saying, like, come on. There's not that many. I know you guys have a lot to do, but this is the top section of Old Emerald Falls. It's kind of a slow grade. Into the cactus garden we go right now, trying not to get pricked. And in a second here, you're gonna see the descent is gonna pretty much pick up. It's almost like dropping into a new trail. This trail has a bit of warm up on the top layer. And we're gonna dip into the descent now. This part of the trail, if you guys have seen before, is usually pretty raw. I usually know it pretty well, but things have changed since the rain came, and boom goes the dynamite. So much for the ASMR. That one felt gnarly. That was me trying to push through something I shouldn't have. That was a crazy one. I remember just thinking, like, my bike's about to land on my head. was flying over the backside of me. A lot's happening here, so let's unpack this really quick. One of the things I realized after watching this footage back was that I got pretty lucky. So many things went wrong. My wrist was like on the verge of being broken. The bike was just inches from landing straight to the dome piece. Seriously, that's one of the things I thought was going to happen. I remember feeling the bike flip over right here and just waiting for this thing to smash me in the back or the neck or the face, and it literally landed right in front of my face. Got my elbow, my wrist was caught under the bike. This was a friggin' mess. And of course, yeah, the least of my problems is my concern now. The muddy water bottle I'm annoyed at, not just the almost emergency room situation I put myself in, but the water bottle's dirty. I was way too high, came in way too slow, way too short, and just clipped that. Not going out like that. I usually like to do straight away after a crash is get right back into it, and that's what we did here. And I felt pretty solid. I moved past it mentally for a second and just was like, oh yeah, here comes the fun part. This part is pretty rocky. Pretty loose out right now. We haven't gotten rain quite a bit out here in SoCal. This section I know pretty well, and this section coming up I thought I knew pretty well, but things have changed. Oh my God, this was all dirt. So there's usually a complete layer of dirt here that you come off that drop and you land in. Look at this situation today. Get it together. I didn't crash here and fall on my face, but I jumped off the bike and leaped down like 5 feet, complete heel bruise and just mental breakdown pretty much from here. I'm gonna hand it back over to me. Jesus, man. The first time I've actually been kind of pissed on a ride in a long time. I don't want to be super negative here. This is all part of it though, man. One of those rides, I guess. That was rough. 2 pretty gnarly slams within like a minute of each other. The trail won today, but I'll be back to fight another one. You didn't think I was gonna let you go out like that? Come on. We're not ending things on like a funeral procession today. Here's a little update. I've actually banged up my wrist really bad. So 2 days after this ride, I had an Airbnb booked already in the mountains. I forgo the pain and I rode on my wrist. At the end of the second day, I had to cut it short at Sky Park because I could barely hold on to the bar. Went to urgent care. I don't know if I fractured it or sprained it or what, but the doctor said the time that had gone by, it was already in the healing process. So I'm on like a week and a half right now without riding the bike. I don't think that I crash a lot in comparison to how much riding I do. It just happens that every time I do now, it's caught on video, even the slightly like washout ones that look like crashes. But that aside, I mean, I grew up as a skateboarder. I did it as a career in my 20s. And one of the ways I progressed as a skater is I was always pushing that line of like comfort level. That's the way that I've learned to progress. And as long as I'm not being an idiot and foolish about my skill progression and where I'm at a level, that's where I'm comfortable. Sometimes you're just not there mentally and you fall on stupid stuff. In my skate heyday, I would get injured on the dumbest stuff, on a warm-up kickflip or olling down 2 stairs because I was taking it for granted. And I'm noticing that's happening to me a lot now in mountain biking, and I need to be more aware of it. Thanks again for sticking around. Thanks for letting me bring your map to life. Even though today's trail was a pretty rough one for me, it's usually very fun. One of my favorite trails to do in Laguna. And with that, I'll see you next week.